Hey, welcome. I'm here again with yet another new exciting show. I'm joined by Connor from Co-op Cousins. Say hello, Connor.
Hello.
And this time we've got our respective siblings. My sister Grace is here in the room. Say hello,
Hello.
Grace. And Connor's sister Hallie.
Hi, Schmello.
Hello. So good to have you all here today. So just to provide a little context here, we're all cousins with each other. I mean, that should be obvious due to all the lore, the channel lore. But yeah, so we got two sets of siblings here and 4 cousins in total. And we're just here to shoot the breeze and bond and strengthen our relationship, and there'll be a lot of love going all around. Are you guys ready? Are you excited?
Yeah, sure. I'm ready.
Grace, that was not enthusiastic.
Woohoo!
Since I gotta go to work in the morning, I'm clocking in at 8 p.m. I'm clocking out.
So yeah. Also, we've been trying to get this set up and ready to go for like half an hour at this point. So for all you listening at home, just so you know how the tribulations, the background, the behind the scenes of it all, it's chaos.
Morale is low.
Yes,
Fashion.
I'm so sorry about that, Grace. But you know what? We're here now, and I just want to say that I love you all.
Oh no.
2.
Love you too.
Heart shape with my hand.
Yeah. What, Connor? Is everything okay over there?
I might be recording in mono.
That's fine. I can work with that. That doesn't really matter all that much. I can fix that in post. It's okay. Yeah, there are ways in Audacity to convert from stereo to mono and vice versa. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. So anyway, let's. So if you're watching this, then you obviously know the channel lore, you know me, and you know Connor at least a little bit. But I think we'll still start with Connor anyway, and we'll go around and we'll say a little bit about ourselves. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Sure.
All right, Connor, take it away.
Well, now I've been put on the spot.
I asked you to tell me about yourself. Do you not know who you are?
Hi. I'm a programmer. I do 3D modeling stuff as well, and me and Jake do Co-op Cousins.
Correct, right? You are, my
Shout
friend.
out to your music too.
Yes, go
yeah,
find
man.
Fox Synth Music.
Yeah, are you still largely focusing on working with MIDIs of like making already existing soundtracks sound cleaner?
Yeah, I have attempted stuff by ear,
Right.
But well, that's just it's really hard.
Okay.
So
Quick tangent. Have you shown Hallie the Buck Bumble theme?
yes.
Okay.
I've never heard
All right.
that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you'll recognize it when he plays it for you later. We can have it played for you later.
Sarcasm.
Anyway, let's go and continue in age order around the circle. Hallie, talk about yourself.
Oh, okay. Sure. I'm Hallie. My hobbies include art. Right now, I'm a budding American Sign Language interpreter and missing my cousins in Kansas. I guess.
Yeah.
What
You know
else?
what? I should have mentioned that at the top. Hallie and Connor are recording from all the way in Colorado, so if anything about this sounds off, that's why.
Did I just talk to you? I'm like, maybe I shouldn't mention where we live, but I mean that's vague enough.
Well, I mean, if you say, "Oh, I live in Kansas," that's still a big area that's not going to narrow it down.
Yeah.
It's fine. And besides, all our information is already out there on the internet anyway, whether you like it or not. It's actually quite scary, and we can get more into that later. But for now, Grace, take it away.
I'm Grace. I'm a general manager at a coffee shop, and yep, I'm a newlywed. I
There you go.
like to do crafts, such for fun. That's pretty much it.
Just...
Yeah, it's a big coincidence. She married my brother-in-law.
But
Sorry, that was terrible. I know. That was perfect, Grace. Though, great job summing yourself up. I love it. You did great, kid. So, one of the topics I wanted to broach in this our pilot episode, and I already talked to Grace about it a little earlier, but I wanted to ask you guys, what is the earliest thing you remember us all being together for and doing?
I need a second.
Don't all talk at once.
thinking.
No, that's fair. You know what? You would have thought that I would have done some thinking on this as well, but all I'm able to retrieve is like non-specific, like vague memories of us being in stores together because we've been in stores a lot. Like our parents love to go shopping, and so do we to a degree, to an extent. But that are like whenever we've gone up to Colorado to a cabin in the mountains. Those are the things that stick out
Yeah.
to me.
I have a very specific one when you're done.
I
Okay,
think for me,
that's all. That's
sometimes-
my 2 cents.
Sometimes it's hard. Like if I see a photo of us really
Oh,
young,
yeah.
I think I like remember that, but I'm like, am I just saying that because there's photo evidence of it, or do I really remember it?
Good point. Very good point.
There's a.
Classic
What'd you say,
dilemma.
Hallie?
Planted memory, like, and they're like, am I just imagining how it might have happened
Yeah.
versus did I really experience it this way? Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Hallie,
a photo of Hallie and I when we were really young, and she's like squeezing me to death, a death hug, and I look kind of terrified. And I don't know if I remember that or if I just feel like I do because of the photo.
Is it in Colorado?
No,
No, it was definitely when they lived like maybe Idaho or maybe even somewhere else.
Okay. Hallie, can I ask you real quick? Are you moving around in your like chair, whatever you're sitting on, or whatever,
Yeah.
relative to your laptop? Are you moving?
no. I mean, I've been sitting the same position for a while, but is it this mic right here?
Yeah, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear you earlier.
That's weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been getting like quieter and louder.
It's probably because I'm like
um,
looking
with
down at it
slight
now.
consistency.
Here, I'll hold up
Yeah.
my mic.
You might. What you also might want to do is if you go into the settings in Discord, make sure that Discord is also using the right input.
Oh man, I don't want to ruin the pod by going
Yeah.
to go through that right now, but I'll just hold up this mic if.
It's fine. I
That
can
sounds
edit
good.
it out. That's the beauty of a podcast.
Oh, so it's not like ad lib on the spot always.
It's a little bit of both. That's the magic. Is you gotta use your wits and you gotta be funny, basically.
Dang, I'm not great with either of those.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Um,
So
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, well, I'll let you finish getting your mic fixed, and then you hit us with your specific one.
It's not in this like channel, right? It would be under a profile thing.
Yeah, the gear on the bottom
Okay,
left.
user settings.
Well, she's doing that. Connor, you got anything for us?
What was the prompt again?
What's the earliest memory you have of all four of us doing being somewhere or doing something together?
I'm gonna be real. I don't know. 'Cause-
Maybe you were just a baby and your diaper was full of poop while the rest of us were running around the room screaming. I don't know.
I'm gonna be real. Like I can barely. I'm a guy who focuses in the present a lot. I can barely remember like 2 months ago.
You don't remember that time when my dad took a single Oreo out of your dad's hand. I think it was your dad's hand, and then the chair under him broke.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, thank you for mentioning that. I remember that. Oh, that was so funny.
Which, sorry, can I ask a microphone question now?
Yeah.
So it's just the default input external microphone. Is that what we want?
Should be external.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try external, because you don't want the internal one. That'd be the one like in your laptop, and that's probably not going to sound good.
Yeah, fair. Okay. Do I sound any different now?
No.
Not necessarily, but hopefully it'll be more consistent.
Yeah, I'm just changing it from default to this, which is the same thing as default.
It already sounds more
Well.
consistent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. All right, so I'm done with that now.
All right, let Hallie go ahead with her story.
Yeah. Hit us with your story.
Since thinking of the story, I've also thought of earlier memories than that, but in the same way that,
Oh yeah, hit us with all of
like
them.
Grace mentioned, it's like I remember the general flashes of memories of like us hanging out when we were really little. Like, I'm not sure if our trip to Canada was
Oh, I also just thought of one. But
Yeah.
Hallie, keep going.
I remember a couple early ones, like when you visited me. It was very bright in my mind because in Idaho when we lived there, I don't know if we were fresh off of a trip from visiting you guys or Canada, but I was really depressed one night as a kid. I remember crying and being like, I miss Jacob and Grace and Nana and Papa so much. Like, it's so bad. Like, my mom was like, I'm sorry, honey, and like, I went to bed. And then my parents were like, you gotta get ready in the next couple weeks. We're having some college friends come visit us. You wouldn't know who they are, but like, you wouldn't know who they are, but you need to make sure your room is clean, make sure you've done your homework early, like blah, blah, blah. And we came home from school that day. This is probably a little bit after I had that crying session, and so I know they're correlated. And we're driving home that day, and we see Nana and Papa sitting in our driveway and like waving, and I was like, oh my gosh, my grandparents are here! I cannot believe it! I'm freaking out. I know Connor was there, but very young.
I vaguely remember this.
And then Nana and Papa are like, we say hi to them, and Nana and Papa are like, we have a present for you in the back of the car. And so
I remember this.
I walked to the trunk, and they were like, not in the trunk. And I'm like, associating it like it must be a package, so it'd be in the back. They're like, it's in the back seat. And so we go to the back seat window, and you guys like jump out and go. You're both in there going like, nah! And it was literally like one of the best core memories of my life.
Oh, that's great.
That's one of my favorite memories as well. I think though I think we visited you in Colorado.
Yeah.
Was that in Colorado?
That was in Colorado.
That was Colorado
because I remember it wasn't that far of a drive from us. If we went to Idaho, that would have taken days. But Nana and Papa, like that's just like 8 to 10 hours.
You're right. It was sooner than I realized.
So it's definitely Colorado because I do remember that.
Yeah. So it would have been way after Canada then. We were like in California when we went to Canada.
Like I remember very clearly that memory. We were older.
Mm-hmm. That explains why I understand it more in my head.
Yeah. Yes, because I mean, Jake and I, we were so excited, like to surprise you guys. We were having a blast just on the ride there. Like we were so excited.
Just like the house I remember.
Love a good surprise.
I don't know why the house I remember being upset, like missing you guys in. Maybe it was like I don't know. Maybe it was a different time.
Well, we did visit you in Idaho. That was one of my. So I have a couple early memories that are coming back to me. One was the trip to Idaho, which I don't know if you guys, if Hallie and Connor, if you know this, but my family very psychotically decided to camp our way from Kansas to Idaho.
Yes.
So
I remember
that was not psychotic.
The monsoon we faced. Are you talking about the same trip where the tents leaked and everything and it was just pouring and storming?
Yeah, I think that was that trip. I also got like on our way up there, it took us like at least 3 days to get all the way up to Idaho because we were camping out every night. And at one of the campsites... I love that, man.
That was great.
Well, I'll tell you why I didn't have a great time.
I remember we almost left you in the woods.
No, there was multiple this trip. Okay, so on the way up there, we stopped at this campsite that had a playground, and it had sand, and some fake sand, obviously not real sand. And Jake buried me in the sand, like my legs and my arms. And the next morning, you
consented. You were okay with it.
Yeah. Well, the next morning I woke up with an insane rash. And I was itchy everywhere, and I had no medicine because we were camping, and so I didn't even get any sort of relief until we finally made it to Idaho. And I remember Aunt Stacy had like some hydrocortisone cream for me or something.
We also got eaten by mosquitoes, huh? On top of your rash, that would have sucked so bad.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. But that was like a big trip where we went out to visit you guys in Idaho, and I remember like we got to spend the night up in your like toy room at the top of your house.
That's
right. You had that bear that could record messages.
You remember that? I'm looking at it right now.
Absolutely, I do.
It's in my closet at the top shelf. It freaks me out occasionally. It'll like make a sound,
Absolutely fantastic. That's
But
so
no,
funny.
I remember that upstairs. That was one of the early memories I had too, because like Grace and I were really obsessed with Littlest Pet Shops. Shout out to they're back now.
Yeah.
Littlest Pet Shop Renaissance. But and Jacob also was into Scooby Doo at the time, and I remember like this is like if you know, you know. If you were there, it's funny. It's probably not gonna be funny to our listeners, but we would play around. I had this fake electric guitar, and like we were playing with
Yes.
the Littlest Pet Shops. And I remember Jacob being like, and then Scooby Doo comes and thwarts their party and starts going like around all the Littlest Pet Shops. And you had this whole little like routine you did and like dance like you were Scooby Doo. And I wish I knew the
I don't remember
specifics.
that.
I don't remember that.
And I wish I remember the specifics, but that was like an imprint on my brain. I remember being like, that was our interests at the time.
Was this the trip where I took a crap in the Luggabaloo?
Yeah.
Probably.
I was super into High School Musical at the time.
yeah.
I pretty much listened to the High School Musical 2 the whole ride there, and by the end of it, my dad pretty much had the whole movie memorized with me. But I remember, like, I got there, and Hallie and I were like just singing High School Musical all the time.
And then your dad was like, Troy Bolton!
You said Connor almost got left in the woods.
No, Grace? We almost left Grace in the woods.
What? I don't.
I remember it
that.
vividly because she was having a tantrum because of probably this overstimulation from the entire trip you had been on. But we wanted to go on a little hike. Wow, the moms... I don't know if Aunt Lara stayed back or not, but Connor and Mom stayed back to cook hamburgers. And we were, getting late into the trip, probably mosquito bites miserable, but we wanted to actually do some, like, walking around our tent setup. And I don't know why Grace was upset. It might have been because of, like, not sharing walkie-talkies or something, but we were...
What?
she was just upset about the hike and wanted to keep hiking, but we all wanted to go back and get food or something, but she was crying and started having a meltdown, and there were like bear scratches on the trees, and your dad was like, if you don't quit it, we're gonna turn around and leave you here right now and you'll get eaten by a bear. And like
I remember that.
and
I don't
yeah,
remember
I
that.
just remember it because in my mind it was like,
Classic dad fearmonger.
yes, classic. I remember that specifically. I was like, the age difference, like, I would obviously have had meltdowns before, but, like, in that moment, I was like, she's, I could tell, oh, she's a little bit younger, and she's having a harder time dealing with this.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious.
But, yeah.
Ooh, bear's gonna eat you.
That's definitely, and then we had Luggabaloos there, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like, in my brain, that felt like a really long trip because we took so long to get out there. And then I remember we stayed at your house for a while, but then we also all went camping together.
Yeah. Okay, if our parents are listening to this, which at least one of them is going to be, I'd know for sure. Do you remember where we camped out when we got up there and we were all together?
No idea.
Some park in Idaho, presumably.
I don't think it was...
Yeah.
They'd remember if I asked them now, but I remember it was on 4th of July because we missed the fireworks. Do you remember that?
Wow, yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Wow, I don't remember that.
I just remember that part because I think we would traditionally go see them. And I was relieved because I wouldn't have to listen to how loud it was. Like, we got really close to the fireworks one year, and it was like, a little traumatizing as kids. Connor was not having a good time either. But anyway.
I remember us stopping at like a lot of hot springs and cold springs.
You know what? That sounds familiar, but I don't remember ever climbing into any.
I don't remember
Yeah,
cold
I-
springs.
Really? I remember.
That sounds familiar. Hot springs.
Were they like man-made springs, or like was this a natural hole in the ground with water that happened to be hot?
I don't know. I think we probably went to like a mix of.
I'm visualizing a man-made one that was a hot spring, but I don't know.
Yeah. I remember we went to one that had like a lot of people at it, and then I remember we also went to one there was like no one there, and like a really fast current in the actual like river.
I just had an epiphany.
Oh, a river now.
Do you guys remember geocaching?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You remember we had one at the lake in Fort
Yeah.
Scott. but it was lost to time.
That's such a shame.
Tragic indeed.
I feel like we geocached.
I remember being terrified of your guys' dog, Moxie, because she could jump so high. I thought she was like gonna jump on me and like eat me or something.
She was full of energy, man. Didn't she have heterochromia? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
I don't remember her having that, but I don't know if I would have known what it was called back then, you know.
Right.
But I do remember one time
I
she
might be
like
thinking
just
of a
sat in
different
front of
dog.
Grace and just stared at her. That was in Colorado though, like more toward our recent times. Like she just stared
Yeah.
at her. That was crazy.
I have
Yeah.
this memory of I think it was with you guys. It was in I don't know if I don't think it was in Idaho. I think where were you before Idaho? California?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were in. All I remember is that we were in a mall, and it was around Christmas time because they had this Christmas themed like little train that you could put your kids on, and it would go around a little loop once or twice. And we were on it, and it broke down. And I remember feeling a little
I
fat
don't remember
that day.
that at all.
I feel like that happened.
Was it
Grace,
just
you
you
don't
and
remember?
I have
Hallie?
no memory.
Maybe it was before
It-
she was born.
It might have been before you, Grace.
Yeah, it might have just been you and Hallie.
And also, we might have been with instead of I honestly couldn't tell you.
You name dropped.
Mom, Dad, if that sounds at all familiar, throw me a text.
Let me know.
But like,
I don't
Yep,
remember
it-
that at all.
you know what? You know what though, Jake? My dad found a hard drive recently with a bunch of old videos on there and like pictures. And
Yo, send me that, and I'll put it on our online archive, please.
Yes.
I want to see that.
I'm like,
stuff.
I don't.
Real
Oh, I
bad.
have a really early on memory of Hallie and Connor actually coming to visit us, and I remember Connor was really little, so I don't know if he would remember this, but like we got like our wagon out, and we had like a Barbie Jeep and a
my
four-wheeler
gosh, yes.
for kids.
Oh yeah.
Nana's house.
And we just like rode around.
Was
What
that
was that?
Nana's
Days,
house with the flowers in the backyard?
No, it was at my like Jake and I's childhood house.
I was like, I remember you guys having that Barbie Jeep, and I was literally thought you were the richest family alive because you had that Jeep.
I'm pretty sure we got that out of the
I know.
trash.
Either that or a garage sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I remember us like riding around our cul-de-sac and that, and Nana and Papa were there. And I also remember Hallie, us like dressing up, and I had like princess dresses, and I like did either you did my makeup or I did yours or maybe both. And there's a photo, and like our makeup looks insane. We have like blue
Like
eyeshadow
purple lip
everywhere.
gloss. I'm visualizing it.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember your makeup, specifically you.
Yeah. And so that's when I'm like probably my earliest memory, because we were really young. I want to say Connor was like,
A baby.
he wasn't a baby, but like a young
I
toddler.
have no memory of this, so
The Jeep,
Yeah.
yeah.
You were probably like, could have just probably barely started to walk or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that they let Connor ride in the Jeep or the four-wheeler, but they let him ride in
Yeah.
just the little pulling wagon.
Right.
Yeah.
Did we ever take you guys junking?
Like,
No, they definitely
What?
never did that with us.
you don't mean like garbage, you don't mean like dumpster diving, right?
No, this is a different
No,
kind of
no.
trash digging.
Yeah. Well, it's dumpster diving adjacent, I would say.
This is going through what people put on the curb as trash.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not like they're trash cans, but like there's this thing like, big trash day. Like certain cities have it more frequently than others, but where you can just put whatever you want, like big items on the curb. And
Yeah. Stuff that wouldn't fit in a trash can. Normally,
yeah,
like a
and, like,
fridge
Couch.
or
either
a
people
CRT.
will go around and grab it, or that's what we call junkin', or like the city will come and pick it up.
Dang. No, we never did
So
that.
we would get like stuff like an electric scooter or whatever out of there, and it would
Yeah.
be broken, and then we'd like work on it and fix it.
Fix it up.
That's iconic.
Yeah. Like, Grace, have you seen my old bedroom? What it looks like now?
Yep.
Okay, you know that free tiered side table on the right side of the bed?
Yeah.
Mom got that junkin'.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Such a cool looking, really nice condition table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes it's not even trash. It's just like people want to get rid of stuff and they're too lazy to go to the donate it at the thrift store.
Yeah, or sell it on eBay.
It's crazy. But I was going to say earlier that I found pictures of Jake and I going to our local pumpkin patch in California, and we were like toddlers. And
oh yeah, I definitely want to see this because I don't remember that at all.
I don't think it was video footage, but there were photos of us. I remember that pumpkin patch very vividly because I went there a lot with people who visited us, and there was like a carousel there, I'm pretty sure, or something like akin to a train. So maybe you have something similar lost to time in your mind, but I don't know.
Yeah, Connor and I probably weren't alive.
I was right. I feel like there was more than two of us in that train. Maybe it was like strangers that were in there with us, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a train specifically. I'll have to look. I'll have to look in the files. But man.
Yeah, you gotta send me a copy of that stuff. That sounds awesome.
Okie doke. I'll have to do that. I know it has like all kinds of stuff on it though, so I'll have to like weed through it first. You know, I'm like my dad had.
Yeah. Do you remember about how much there is, like in gigabytes?
Oh, could not tell you.
Okay.
It's like my dad was the one going through it, really. But
all right. I'll just turn to Connor and say Kowalski analysis, and he'll take care of it.
I don't know.
Kaboom!
I have not seen. I have not. Okay, I've probably seen whatever these files are that she's talking about, but I have not messed with.
Yeah, you were annoyed.
That's fine.
You were annoyed the other day.
I'm just saying you could take a look at it and probably figure out how much data.
Yeah, I could probably figure it. I could probably figure it out pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking for it as a number, just out of curiosity. But here's my real question: is when are we all gonna be in the same room again? I miss you guys.
I don't know.
Seriously.
Yeah, like, Connor has made traveling like terrible for the rest of us because he makes it all about his school.
What do you mean?
Like
my school, a number of my classes require Photoshop, and Photoshop is no longer. My laptop can't run it. It's way out of date for my laptop, which means I have to be sitting at this desktop.
Wait, I'm curious. So you have to like Photoshop something as an assignment and turn it in?
Photoshop is what we use for digital artwork.
So you're like making art?
Yeah, we draw in Photoshop.
And this is like, are you doing like complex, like hyper-realistic stuff?
I did. Okay, now it's my chance. Where is my drawing of all of my schools? Because I don't like this all on. Where did my tips go? Because for Hallie and Grace, who are just learning to use Discord, the recording booth does have a chat that you can put images in.
Oh, that's true.
So
no one listening at home is going to see them, but you can do that. That's true.
we'll just start describing it. I'm
we
like,
good? Yeah. Shoot, man,
we
that
do
works.
that for
So if you
Hallie,
allow
did you know
to find my drives?
there's a couple of like podcasts about it's pretty interesting. Like there's one where it's like just people describe memes to blind people.
Yeah, I was about to say I had to do that on my internship. You have to do like a whole like I had to learn how to do a visual description of something. But like we could totally do that is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to point out, Grace and I, we have valid excuses, but you guys, you can fly for free anytime you want to anywhere in the contiguous 49.
I can't.
48, I mean. I think. Well, you know, you could probably get to Alaska if you really want to. That's not the point. The point is, you've got in with the travel, and you know, God knows you'd have at least 2-3 places to stay here if you can't just spontaneously came over here. So we're ready and we're waiting.
Like fly free anymore
when raw.
because I'm graduated college, but Connor can, and
They boot you off?
yeah, you can you can have your wife stay on it, and like your mom-in-law, but not your kid.
That's crazy.
I know.
What? Is it at a certain age, or is
Yeah.
just because you're not in school anymore?
It is a certain age, but if you are in school full time, then they count it. Like so.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can still. Okay.
But since I'm neither of those things, but my dad does get like benefits, so It's better than nothing for me to fly with his like benefits and discounts.
Still, yeah, you could undoubtedly get for a fraction of what Grace or I would have to pay. Also, he can like put you on a wait list, can he? Like at least faster than like the average person. I
Like
would
standby wait list? What do you mean? Oh,
yeah,
yes, I think
like,
so.
Like for if like someone buys a ticket and they don't show up, and so the airline has like an empty seat.
Yes, I have been on that before.
That's a thing. Right?
Yeah.
Darn it.
Is everything okay there, Connor?
Yeah, Discord freaking lowered the file upload.
Oh yeah, no, it sucks. It's really crappy, and even if you have Nitro, it's still like pathetically small. I don't remember exactly the numbers, but it's like
it's 10 now, or
trash.
it might be 8.
Megs.
Yeah, megs. It used to be 25.
Ugh, gross, disgusting,
I mean, okay,
absolutely disgusting.
That just means that now I have to export this image as a JPEG and not a PNG.
Okay, I mean, don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
No one's gonna die if we don't see your art. Yeah. I just have to wonder because there are Photoshop alternatives that are, because they're not as resource heavy on your PC. That also means that they're not quite as powerful. But I wonder if they could serve you well. Like
maybe the primary issue is that according to my laptop, it says that the graphics driver does not qualify for like Windows 11, and at this point Windows 10 has just been, which means that the graphics stuff is gonna get really outdated really fast.
That's true.
And thus,
they did that. You could always switch to Linux, my friend.
Oh heck no. I'm not that
What's
crazy into
Linux?
programming.
Well, if you want to learn fast, Linux is the way to go. And just for the record, there are distributions of Linux that are visually based on Windows, so it makes it easier.
So, I mean,
Yay,
Delaney's
JPEG.
wedding for sure. I'll go into that. That's a long ways away, but I thought we would visit again soon.
Ooh, Connor's first piece of artwork has just
Okay.
come in.
Okay, so
Did you make
how do
that
I
from
see
scratch?
it's not completely from
Wait,
scratch.
how do we see it?
That, my friend, you're gonna okay, so on our
Hey,
There's
I'm
a
like-
speech bubble
my
in the top
screen
right
looks-
corner.
Okay, mine looks like a...
yeah, there should be a speech bubble in the top right.
Oh, beautiful, Connor.
Where is
Yeah,
that
this is fantastic.
30% of it is mine. That, my friend, is what you call a matte painting.
It's very
Huh.
nice.
Where
So
this?
it's a hillside,
So
and there's a cabin in the distance,
So
and a
tell
road
me-
stretching to the cabin.
tell me
with
if
a
you
tree.
can see where the real
orange
image
leaves,
is and
mountains in the
where
background.
mine is.
Well, let me see here. Oh dear,
You might have
I'm
to
opening an edge so I
Yeah.
can zoom in a little further.
pinned message?
Yeah, you might have to zoom in on it.
Oh, I think I'm on the wrong channel. I'm just realizing.
Recording booth
Oh.
A. The
Yeah.
speech bubble in the upper right.
Open chat.
Are the mountains real?
Some of them. One of them is not.
Interesting. I'm guessing the left mountain is not real.
I guess opposite.
Incorrect.
The right one
Which
is
one?
not real.
The right mountain is not real. If you look close,
Darn it.
if you look close at the
good,
bottom,
man.
at the very bottom of the path that goes in the image,
Uh-huh.
you might be able to see a seam running straight up the middle of the.
I can kind of see it a little bit. Does it cut through the tree?
Like a vertical seam?
Yeah, vertical seam.
Maybe I'm imagining.
Yeah, it looks
There
pretty
is
good to
a
me. I
line
don't
that
see
goes
it.
Yeah, I
straight
don't
up
see
the middle.
any.
Okay, then I did my job
What
well.
color is the line?
It's
Yeah.
not gonna be.
Did
It's
you
not
use
gonna
AI?
be very visible. No, it's not AI. It's using warping
Good.
tools and stock photos,
Ah, okay.
As well
so
as-
you
as well as some touch-up stuff. Like I
I was gonna
painted
say,
in.
you blended a bunch of images together.
Yeah, I painted in like a bunch of the texture on the lower parts of the right mountain.
Interesting. I bet you could do it without like you either use a Photoshop alternative or pirate an older version of Photoshop that's a little easier on your processor.
We don't
You'll be
promote
good.
illegal
How
activity
large
on
is
this
this image?
podcast.
What is that, Hallie?
I was saying we don't promote illegal activity on this podcast.
Oh yeah, no, I don't endorse. No, I promote it, but I don't endorse it. There's a difference.
Valid.
Just kidding. Please don't do crimes and then blame me, kids.
Okay, apparently I
This
gotta
is
export
a
this one as well.
PSA from your friendly neighborhood, not Spider-Man. No, but yeah, that's a great looking image, man.
Okay, here. This
Set
is...
that as your wallpaper.
Let's get.
This next...
Honestly, it looks like a wallpaper that would come default with Windows. Or
I was just gonna say
something.
that. You're
This
right.
next one is a... This was called a master's study. It was... I had to create a master's painting, which is a painting from an artist in like the 1800s.
Okay.
So there's that was done in Photoshop, completely by hand.
They looked
Interesting.
like that.
Had eyeball. Let me put the original.
Whose style are you emulating, or are we supposed to guess?
Where's the original? I can't remember.
Rembrandt?
Raphaello.
I don't know. Raphael.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the Ninja Turtle
here's the
names.
original.
It's one of the Ninja Turtles.
Dude, yeah, you did pretty good.
And now, where is the dude I drew last week?
Oh, that's not what I wanted to
Pretty cool.
do. You can't. Gosh
This
darn
is a
you,
PNG
Discord.
again. Oh, this one's actually smaller. This is an evil program.
Huh.
Oh, you made him have
I
skin
love the
color? I
face.
thought it was gonna be a mask.
No, that's not a mask.
Mm.
He's got Hitman 47, Agent 47.
Did you ever
vibes.
name him?
Honestly, this was such a blur.
And I was suggesting Cody, like code. Like
I think that's what I stuck with.
Oh, well done.
I think that's what I stuck with.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally. CODEY.
Solid naming right there. Well done. There was Connor, do you remember when you would have to get like a book full of cheat codes instead of just being able to look it up on the internet?
No, because I was from the time of the internet, but I know what you're talking
Fair
about.
enough.
I remember, I've seen people talk about, like, Game Genies and everything for, like, the Nintendo 64.
Some for your DS.
Well, no, Game Genie was like a cartridge add-on, but
Yeah.
like if you wanted to get like certain games, they have codes built in. Like Lego Star Wars, you could go up to the cantina counter and enter secret codes.
Oh!
Or Rampage Total Destruction, there's a way to do it on the main menu, but you had to like have a way to know what the code was to enter.
Yeah.
And you had a good book for that. And one of the books, man, I don't remember what it was called. It was like Cheat Code Explosion or something. But the O in the word code was like a face. And he was like the mascot, and his name was Cody, spelled Codey.
I don't remember.
This reminded me
Wait,
of
didn't
that.
you have a Game Shark?
Man, what a time that was.
Or you had something that attached
What?
to your DS for like codes.
Action replay.
Yeah.
Action replay.
And like he definitely had one of those
classic.
things that like modified the game.
Yeah, for sure. That does it all for you. Like a lot of you either had to get the codes from the internet or it would come preloaded. But I remember when I was a kid, waiting for the book fair to come to school, and what they would always bring in like the wave of newest like kids books from publishers, and included in that was A, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which was always popular, and Captain Underpants, and B, cheat code books filled to the brim with cheat codes for all your favorite video games. Man, what a time to be alive it was. Remember book fairs, Grace?
Say like
Oh yeah, I was actually one year I was Clifford, like in the
Oh,
big
yeah.
Clifford suit.
That's right. I forgot about
The
that.
Scholastic. Let me tell you, that costume stank.
Ha!
I didn't know
That's
that. That's
funny.
cool.
Yeah.
Your files
Grace,
are
real quick, can I ask you, when you look at your waveforms, are they the top and bottom of the waveform touching the top and bottom of the box that it's in
No.
Occasionally
when you
for
talk?
me.
Are they
No.
big or small?
Varies.
Mine varies as well.
I need to get like a
Okay,
limiter.
All right.
But
figured
mine
out.
is not like hitting the top.
All right.
the
I think
bottom.
it's Discord. Then they can't handle it, and not your computer, because over Discord, like in my headphones, you're peaking a bit, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, you mean I
um,
can just like not be the mic.
A little. That's fine. Dude, that should be all right. Don't move anymore. Freeze.
Is this good?
Well, don't lean too far back, otherwise we won't be able to hear you. You got a little quieter just now. So, Grace, what was your go-to book at the book fair?
on my age.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
age-dependent thing.
You
Yeah.
didn't have like a series that you were waiting for the next
Oh, I definitely
installment to
did.
release?
Like when I was, there was like these like
I
a
know exactly what you're
series, and-
talking about.
Yeah, they're like different colored face. Sometimes they like I still have but they were like
Oh, it wasn't Tinkerbell, was it?
no,
I'm
not
looking it up.
Tinkerbell. I'll have to.
Pull it up, Jamie.
But other times, like throughout the when I got a little bit older, I remember. I mean, I was like almost out in the. And
Oh, yeah.
I was always get those.
On my shelf right now, Grace. The ones you gave me.
Yep, I think Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought I had a bunch.
If you're
of
still
them.
interested in reading those, Grace, I can help you figure out how to do it for
Rainbow
free.
Magic Color Fairies.
I already read them all.
Oh, okay.
That might
What?
be
Rainbow
was that?
Magic Color Fairies. Like,
Oh,
Wow,
look it up.
that sounds like a fake book that you would hear
Rainbow
a character
Magic
say in a TV
Color
show.
I know it
Fairies.
does sound fake.
Let me look it
The
up.
pictures are exactly what
What?
she's talking about, like, from the book fair.
That's funny.
I also like
I love it.
magic.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you know what? That was a series I never really got into, but I could see myself, I think, reading them as a kid if I had just like picked one up and read it. I was too into toilet humor at the time though. Captain Underpants is when I go.
Oh yeah, I also like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I would actually.
Yeah.
I probably didn't. Actually, I probably just went with it, Jay.
Yeah, no, there's no way Mom would buy two of the same book.
Yeah, true. And yes, that confirmed, Hallie. That is talking about.
I actually never read those
Oh,
ones.
that's great. You've reclaimed a childhood memory today. You're welcome, America.
That's funny.
Did you, so as homeschoolers, did you have book fairs, Hallie and Connor, or was it just like going to the library with Mom time?
I was only homeschooled in high school. Like, everything before that was public. I was at the book fair all the
Oh,
time.
what?
I was
I don't remember that.
homeschooled in middle school. Before that, yeah, there were book fairs.
I forgot you guys went to public elementary school. That's
We're not
nuts.
completely
I don't
uncultured.
know why that was not in my memory banks.
We're not completely uncultured.
They said
Those were fun, though.
Interesting. Okay, well, that opens up a whole new avenue of potential topic. Did you go on field trips a lot in elementary school?
Yeah, I'm, like, trying to remember.
Okay. Or like who?
We went to a baseball game.
Shoot, what? Just good stories from elementary school, I guess.
Well, I have a question about the book fair now for Connor. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
You have this. He got this big Lego book, Star Wars Lego specifically, one time. Was that from the book
I
fair?
have no idea if I still have that. That was from. It might have been. I think it might have been like Scholastic Book Fair.
Because it's cool.
Was it the kind that comes with a minifigure?
Yes,
That's like
it
visible
came
on the
with
cover?
Luke from the awards ceremony.
You said minifigure.
Oh, nice,
Like
dude.
minifigure.
I
Those were
don't
always
know
so
if I
expensive.
still have it. If I do, it's in a
Dang.
bin somewhere.
Interesting. Or like, yeah, what's some funny stuff you remember from elementary school? Frick, I don't know.
I'm like,
I don't.
yeah,
know.
go ahead,
There was
Connor.
Never really anything I wanted at the fair.
You got.
No, not even the goofy
The only
pens
thing,
or
the only thing I,
candy?
the only other thing I ever remember getting was that set of like official Minecraft handbooks or whatever they were.
the... Oh, yeah.
Dang, that was.
That's funny. I still
Yeah.
have one
It
of those.
was like they changed the game completely since that book has come out.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That
interesting
came
relics
out.
of their time now.
That came out when Guardians were added to the game, and that was like
Oh,
what,
dude.
like 8-10 years ago.
Not that long, surely.
It was way long ago. It's not.
Oh, no.
It-
I can
when
feel the
were
wrinkles
Guardians added
forming
to
on my
Minecraft?
skin.
You mean the underwater guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The one eye.
Man.
What if we did a Minecraft playthrough?
I would be down.
We're in a Minecraft phase ourselves. Connor and I are.
They were added in
Yo.
one.
I'm always.
They were.
down.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. Guardians were added on June 9th, 2014.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Over 10 years.
Yeah.
I was a freshman in
that's
high
old.
school. No, wait, June? I would have been a sophomore.
Yeah, that would have
By
been
that
around
point.
10 years.
Oh gosh, man, stop.
I remember, like, Mom,
Guardians are a decade old?
I remember.
I guess so.
Sorry.
Disgusting.
In case it's not clear,
I hate it.
everyone on this podcast has ADHD, in case that hasn't been made clear yet. But I was gonna say.
Yeah, well, and Hallie's voice does not consistently come through on Discord when we're recording. too.
sorry.
So, continue. That's fine, it's not your fault.
I was gonna say that Mom wouldn't let us get the little knickknacks and stuff at the book fair. It would always be like, you can pick one thing, but it has to be a book. You know, it can't be an invisible ink
yep.
pen or a
Yeah.
slinky.
Oh, those things.
But yes,
I didn't
And I
indeed
always
buy
wanted
invisible ink
those.
pen.
I know, I did. When I got my own money, I bought an invisible ink pen, and I use it everywhere. But there was this one year I bought, I always tended to buy animal books or art books, and one time I bought this, like, interior design book and ordered it. And I tell you what, it took, like, almost the entire school year to get in. And I went to the library every recess to check if that librarian was so mad at me by the time I was out of there. Like, the end of the school year, she was like, it's not here. Don't even bother coming in. And I'll come get you when it's in. Like, but those were, I still have that. It's actually in the basement right now. But it was really fun. Like, I have fond memories of the Scholastic Book Fair. But I didn't know Grace was Clifford. That's hilarious, actually.
I forgot about that. That you've given me more memories, Hallie. I remember screwing around in the library as a kid on PowerPoint 2003 and just like playing around with the animations, making text spin and fly around and explode on the screen.
Literally same. Cool math games, anyone?
Yeah.
Pop Tropica? Dare I
yeah.
say?
What, like,
Meeblings?
Pop Tropica.
what is it?
What?
Like 2 months ago, I found a tool-assisted speedrun of Block Source from Cool Math Game.
No way. Oh, I gotta
It's
see that.
so...
Yeah,
I watched it with him. It's crazy.
yeah.
What's the final time?
I think it might have been like 7 or like 13 minutes. I don't remember.
What the frick? I remember
12
that game
minutes.
used a password system for its levels, and we figured out the password for the last level, and like it became very well known on the playground and in the classrooms, but no one could beat it. It's insanely hard.
Yeah, I'm looking at the layout for that right now. It is nasty.
It's bonkers. Did you guys have Goosebumps in your library?
I only read like one of them. I was too chicken for the rest of them.
What?
Yeah.
They're so good. I ate them up like chocolate chip cookies, bro. I loved Goosebumps.
Yeah, you had a bit with those.
I remember that.
Yeah, we had a rack that was like visible from the entrance to the library, and I would just shoot to it every time. Full of nothing. It was mostly Goosebumps, and there was like one segment on it that was Animorphs. Did you guys ever read Animorphs?
No.
I like never.
I never read any of the
because
Goosebumps.
No.
The covers. How?
Absolutely, yeah. The biggest turn off in book history is Animorph covers, if ever
Like,
there was
don't
one.
look by its
I never
cover.
read them.
That line.
I always judge
Yes.
a book by its cover.
Why else does it have a cover? If not to judge whether
the
you want to
cover's
read
there
it.
for you to judge it.
Well, I'm pretty sure the person who came up with that quote, like when that quote came out, or it was like, coined, that was before Animorphs existed, so valid excuse.
But the memes about Animorphs, like you see nowadays, it's so funny to me. Like, it's nostalgic even though I never read it.
Oh yeah, those are good.
I'm like, them...
I just remember like walking.
I am
by the
looking
cover
at this
being
now,
like,
and
what
this
the-
is weird.
Did you ever read The Bailey School Kids?
Mm-mm.
I'm like...
That sounds familiar.
I
don't
read
know.
the Boxcar Kids. Tell me why I wanted to be those children, even though they were living in a boxcar.
Because they solved didn't they solve mysteries?
I think so. Loki don't remember much.
They were like a discount Scooby gang.
I think their parents died.
Like, I didn't even read it.
And I was like,
Oh gosh.
I was like, I want
This
to be
orphan
them.
Scooby gang. Apparently, I remember I got into a series of
my
unfortunate
gosh.
events by
Oh,
Let me sneak it toward the end of my elementary school career.
Yeah, I read those in high school with Connor. Like, Connor was reading them for school.
I started in like 5th or 6th grade, and I read them through middle, and I think I finished by the time I was done with middle, roughly.
Dang. I never finished them, man.
He's a brilliant author, though. Oh, they're so good. You should. And then watch the Netflix adaptation.
yeah.
Because,
the Netflix adaptation was good.
I've seen all of that, except
Neil Patrick Harris kills
maybe
it,
I
man.
haven't seen how it ends, but I've seen the entire beginning couple seasons. It's good.
Yeah, it's all out now. And they never, brought it to a conclusion. I think it was like the first 3 books, but the movie with Jim Carrey was not bad either,
Yeah,
from what I recall.
it was just the first 3.
Yeah. They definitely lean more into the creepy aspect of it in that movie.
It reminded me of another series, and now it's slipped my mind. I'm like trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think back too. Judy
Oh
Blume.
yeah, the freckle.
Tales of a Fourth
What's
Grade
freckle
Muffin.
juice? Yeah.
Was that Judy Blume?
Is it what's that kid's
Is it
name?
Junie B. Jones?
Fudge.
Fudge.
Okay.
Yeah. No, different author.
No.
We're talking about the
Okay.
author.
I'm like, Judy Blume, is that the
Yeah.
author or the character?
He's the
No,
author.
there's a character called Judy Moody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, that's why I was confused. I meant the author, yeah, who wrote Freckle Juice.
Yeah,
Um,
she did.
I'm pretty
eh?
sure.
I recall that one as well. I mean, I remember the book, but I don't remember if it was Judy Blume or not.
It is.
Okay, whew. I was like,
Okay.
years of
And,
academy
Jerry
training
Spinelli.
wasted.
Years of academy training.
Wasted.
There doesn't seem to
Tells
be
of
any
life
sign of
in there.
intelligent life anywhere.
I always think that
That's so good.
Woody laughs. He's like, give me that. Like, whenever there's like shark
Yeah,
steals his
yeah.
hat.
Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna say when he laughs when he says, "Buzz, look an alien," and Buzz goes, "Where?" and he goes, "Bah!" There's a whole meme genre based off that like soundbite, right?
That part's so funny.
Oh, it's too good. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So speaking of we're I know we watched that a lot as kids. What were some other movies that we watched a lot as kids?
Remember Rescue Heroes?
That and Toy Story 2. Rescue
Yeah.
Heroes.
I have a
is that what
core
you said?
memory with Rescue Heroes and Jacob. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't like remember it in the moment, but like my mom told me this story about she was driving somewhere and I was in the back seat
I was there
and
too.
I was watching. I don't remember if you were there, but I was
No, I
watching
was, I
Rescue
remember.
Heroes. What?
I remember this. I'm gonna say.
Oh, I thought Hallie said that. My bad. Yeah. So she like was speeding, and so a cop turned on his siren to pull her over, but she thought it was my show, so she just kept driving for a while until she looked in her mirror.
Oh.
Yeah, she thought it
Yeah.
was Rescue Heroes.
Did she have to
And then the officer was like, "What took you so long to pull over?"
She was like, "I'm sorry, my son was just watching a certified banger in the backseat,
explain?
a certified hood classic."
Yeah.
Oh.
There was one time there was the rescue move. It was a movie, Rescue Heroes movie that came out. It was like CGI or not CGI, 3D animation compared to like the original. And we were
Right.
either at your
CGI,
house or it must have been Nana's old house.
Mhm.
But I remember I had
Yeah.
heard the word idiot in like movies, right? Didn't know I wasn't
Uh-huh.
allowed to say it. Just knew it was bad, right?
Dude, that was like my favorite word as a kid. I was such a terrible person.
I know,
I called
you-
everyone around me an idiot.
I have
You were
moved
like-
on from idiot to imbecile.
That's a good one.
You got that from Mom.
Sorry,
but-
continue, Hallie.
There's this one
No.
time we were playing during that movie, and I called you an idiot because you were making me mad. And then you immediately went to my parents, tattled on me, and then they put me in timeout. Like, I know, and I was like, I felt so much injustice because you said it so much. Like, but the second I said it, it was like,
Oh, that's
my
good.
parents were like, "Oh, you're going in the closet or the laundry room."
Going in the closet. Is that really how they punished you?
Yeah, I don't know if it was the laundry
Like
room
timeout?
or the closet, but I think there was a spanking and then a
You have
closet
been
time.
banished to the shadow realm.
Yes, literally.
Looks like you're going to the shadow room,
And I
Jimbo.
was like, immediately in that moment, I learned there is a hierarchy, and I am under you in the in the like ranking.
know your place, child.
Literally.
That's so good.
I think Connor
love
and
that
Grace
so
were
much.
babies at that point, so maybe that was one of my earlier memories besides the Jeep.
There
but-
you go. Oh man, there's a lot of memories in that little basement area in Nana and Pops' old split level. Dude, I remember that was the first time I ever got the wind knocked out of me. Is you know how it was like from the main level, it was like 6 steps down into that basement to like,
Yeah.
and if you were at the bottom of the steps, you were right by the door to
Right.
the garage. So I jumped down that entire flight and landed on the floor and went.
Oh man.
You were like, parkour.
Yeah, I thought I was cool. I thought I could handle it.
Parkour.
But I landed on my butt and my
Ooh.
back.
Oof.
For some reason, I wasn't thinking about nailing the landing.
For kid.
Yeah.
Dude, it was unreal. I thought there was a moment in time where I thought I would be a kid forever. like genuinely.
Yeah.
Really? Like,
Listen, Grace, both you and I went to the same elementary school for 7 years of our life, okay? I got used to being in that environment, let me just put it that way.
Never really thought about that.
so you were
mean,
like, this is
fair.
it. This is all.
I'm like,
For a moment there, yeah. And, you know, obviously toward my younger years, like, by the time I was, like, 5th or 6th grade, I knew, okay, yeah, eventually I'm going to be leaving here, but it you know, by the time that time rolled around, it seemed so hard to believe. You know, 7 years,
I
man.
can't believe that.
That is
That's a lot.
close to a
I
decade.
switched schools like 7 times. Like, that's crazy.
Huh!
Man, yeah, that's wild. But I'm grateful for that, though. Like, not having to deal with moving while growing up. I'm sure that wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about it? Welcome to therapy with Jake. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Like, it wasn't the worst, but I mean, you're right. I never thought of like, this is never going to end. I did think to myself, like, I just want to hurry up and grow up. Like, I felt like it was taking a long time, but I never felt like I was in one
man.
environment for like that long, I guess. I don't know. And then immediately it's like you
Right.
get in high school, and then I'm like, I don't want to grow up. I actually am wrong, you know.
Right, yeah, I was going to say, did you want to grow up because you wanted to be higher in the hierarchy? I can't think of any other reason why one would want to grow up.
I think I was
That's
just,
so funny.
you know, when you get mad at your family as a kid, you're like, I just want to get away for a second.
That's fair. Yeah, no, but I regretted aging every second that goes by.
Same. That's hilarious.
It's a rough process.
Like, I don't know if Connor even remembers Idaho. Like, do you?
Yeah, Connor, how far back do you remember? What's like
I
what are
have
some of
vague
the earlier
flashes.
stuff you in particular remember as the youngest?
I have vague flashes of what it looked like, and that is about it.
Oh, I guess we should provide a little context, shouldn't we? I'm 26. Let's see here. Hallie, you're only like 2 years younger than me,
24,
right?
yeah.
1 to 2? Okay, yeah. Grace is 3 years younger than me. And
2.
let's see, how many years are between Connor and Grace?
Like 1, right?
1. Okay, yeah. 'Cause four, yeah. So, yeah, Connor's the youngest, and he apparently also remembers the least. I don't know.
Yeah, the younger you get, the less, like, the further back you go, the less you remember.
Right.
Especially
okay, but if I was to
when
say, like,
you were
childhood,
a little child
what's
who
the
couldn't
first thing
pay
that comes to
attention to
mind?
anything. I don't know, school playground.
Uh,
Sure, okay.
I
There you go. That works.
vaguely recall that there was this, like, weird tube on the school playground with, like, a dragon head on it. In every recess, people would fight over it.
wait, that sounds like it would be pretty early, because I don't remember that, and I went to a lot of the same schools you did.
Yeah, it was
Interesting.
in, like, the kids' playground.
Maybe that's preschool, because I didn't go to the preschool you went
Yeah.
to, because I was in California in preschool.
Yeah, I think it was it was
Interesting.
Remember?
We're going to the deep memories.
yeah, that's
Right now.
all I really
I'm like, do you remember there was a concert? You had a preschool concert, and it was probably
I do not
probably Christmas. I don't know, because there were bells involved. Like, you kids were holding bells.
Oh,
But
man.
he just stood there, like, did not sing, just stood there.
probably because
I
I was
remember-
frozen in terror.
Yeah,
Stage fright.
yeah, I think. And then you've never been really a
That's
public performer.
Yeah.
that's funny. I remember at our elementary school we had the same packet of Christmas songs that we sang every year, and like if you were, what was it like? You were in the choir and you were chosen as a special helper by the music teacher. You got to ring the bells, right, Grace? Is that what it was?
You had to be.
Oh, that's right. You had to be old, man. And that was the envious position. That was the like, you were the king or the queen if you were holding the jingle bells.
Yep. I think they
Man.
called it the Jingle Master.
The jingle master, master of all the jingle, coming to a theater near you someday soon.
All right, I gotta
Say
go
again?
pretty soon,
I was
y'all.
looking at the time.
Oh yeah, we can wrap it up if you want.
Yeah, but
But,
I've
we
been
can record
recording for an
another
hour
time.
and 13 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just about there as well. All right, well, that's it on our time for this our inaugural episode of Siblingism. I thank you all who are listening for joining us on this little journey of ours. We hope to see you again soon. If you enjoyed this, please do share it. I always hate, asking for engagement, but if, I always appreciative of it nonetheless. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Once again, thanks for watching or listening, and I bid you adieu. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh.
Bye.